What's going on, guys? Zac Perna here, and today's video is basically going to be for me when I started. Like, I'm making this video as if I'm watching it when I was younger, because when I started a YouTube channel, there were so many things that I didn't know that I did wrong, all these mistakes, and a lot of questions that I didn't really have the answers to. So thankfully, it's taken me, 3 years of doing this, that I've slowly learned a few things along the way. So I'm going to try and summarize the best tips for you guys when you're starting a YouTube channel. So let's get into it. Now, before we get started, guys, I just want to give a quick plug to the sponsor of this video, Lumix, with their new Panasonic G100. Now, when I got this gig, I was like, this is insane, surely not, because I'm literally filming on a Lumix right now. I bought the new S1H, but it is, if you guys have seen that, it's massive. This is their new vlogger's camera. Literally, when they showed me the specs on this, I was like, holy shit, I wish I had this. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this in the beginning, because like, if I'm being 100% honest, this is awesome. If you guys are starting a YouTube channel, you want to do vlogs, it's just great. Now, this is really new, so I haven't really had too much time to play around with it, but a few of my favorite features is, for one, this bad boy is a flip screen. Now, this is sick. So using the screen to be able to see what's in the frame, this will save you from like accidentally doing this sometimes when you're starting out, and just making sure that everything you want to be is in the frame. If you're with somebody, you can be like, here, I'm with them. The amount of times I've cut somebody's head off going, and I'm with them, and you can't even see who's in the frame, it just makes life so much easier. It has a component for the microphone in the side here, which you can plug it in. So I'll show you guys exactly what we're dealing with. You can also record with the tripod button, which is sick. So this is with image stabilization on, so it zooms in a little bit more, but you can adjust that, turn it down, and then it'll be a bit more zoomed out. Now, another awesome thing about this camera is it has 3 microphones in it. Now, audio is so important. Let me shut this off. Audio is so important when you're dealing with cameras, because you can watch a video and if the quality is HD, whatever, that's fine. But if the audio is not good, it's really annoying and it's tough to watch. So audio is one thing I didn't invest in when I started. So I thought this was sick too. It's got 3 microphones in it that will automatically track you if you want. So it's got a tracking mode. For example, if I talk to the front of the camera, the mic on the front will pick it up. If I talk like this way, it'll sense me talking and the mic on the back will pick it up. That's so good, because the amount of times if you've got a directional mic and you're talking to the back of the camera and it just sounds all weird, there's that. It also has a couple of different modes. It has a quick mode for like your time lapses, and it's also got a slow mode for when you want to get B-roll, and it is just really an all-round awesome camera for starting out. And also too, if you guys want to get your hands on one of these, just hit the link in the description box. That's my little Amazon affiliate link, and then I get a little bit of kickback. But seriously, really recommend this, guys, especially if you're starting out. Now, let's get started into the tips. So tip number 1 is to plan your content. Now, this, if you're literally just starting out, you don't even know what you want to film, you're just starting out, you just want to film. You have to kind of figure out your niche. So for me, it's fitness. So I'll use fitness as a bit of an example along the way. And it's a really good way of helping other people. Like, I can make this video right now and help thousands of people potentially. It's sick. So what do you want to make videos about? Why do you want to do it? You have to really think of your why. Don't just think about the money. Don't be harsh on yourself here. If you literally want to do it because you want to put out sick content and you want the world to see it, then great, do that, run with that. But just be honest with yourself, figure out your why and plan your stuff. Now, you guys need to plan basically as much as you can. I plan every single video down from the talking points to the intro, the B-roll, the components of it. If you guys want to see exactly like a video plan template, just click the link. There's a link in the description to download that, and you guys can download exactly how I plan a video. But basically, I will write out my video itself at a micro level and plan everything. So I'll be like, intro, I kind of want to touch on this. Main topics, I won't script it, because if you script it, that's one mistake I made. If you script a video, you'll end up forgetting lines and you'll look like you're talking to the camera like this. Like when I started, I remember I was doing a video on macros, explaining what macros are, and I was like, and I thought it was okay at the time, and then I rewatched it back. Don't even bother looking, guys, I removed it. I should put it back up. But I was literally, looked like I was crying because I was forgetting my lines. I'm there like, I'm like watching this video back going, wow. But at the time I just didn't know, because nobody told me, hey, don't memorize lines, you're better off just talking about it. So if you guys, whatever you're talking about, I'm sure you're somewhat confident to have a normal conversation about it. So don't script your stuff. Just run with it. But so have your bullet points as your body, and then maybe you'll be like, okay, what would be cool here? Let's go. If you want to put transitions in there, you can easily do that. You can have nice transitions, but like, you know, pan out at the end of this shot, pan in at the end of this shot, whatever. That's a bit more technical. But for the most part, you might want to add in like B-roll segments. So if you don't know what B-roll is, it's basically just like that nice, like this of the camera. It's just like a nice little additional extra that you're putting in over the top of your A-roll, which is like me talking now. And that basically makes the video a bit more interesting. So plan your videos as much as you can. And then also plan your topics. Now this is a big thing too, because if you're doing YouTube videos in general, you basically, from what I've seen, you can go the informative, you can go the motivational route, you can go the entertaining, or you can just do like vlog style, which is just basically your everyday life. But basically you guys want to add as much value as you can. So think of that when you're planning your content. I'm going, okay, how can I add value? So on a macro level, you need to plan your content. Now for me, I will literally write down, okay, I've got informative, that's what I'm going to cover. And then I'll start just listing topics, just brainstorm, literally have a brainstorm session one day in the month, say, and just go, all right, informative, okay, fat loss basics, all the questions that you might get asked or you'd have yourself, write them down. Again, then you've got, okay, now we've got bulking over here, list those down. Gym, workouts, list those down. You can come up with like 50, they're video ideas. Then you've got, okay, maybe we'll go vlog style. They can just be sporadically. Maybe you're doing something fun, you want to vlog it, go for it, do that. But you don't really necessarily have to plan those as much. And then you might have entertaining ones where, like for me, it's like the day in the life ones where that's a bit more entertaining. I'm not teaching people as much as I am just trying to have a bit of fun with people along the way. I know this point is taking me a long time because this is basically the crux of this whole video is there's one content planning. This is all your content. You want to have content that can go viral. So there's viral types of content, and you want to have, and I feel like all of the informative stuff can come under that, as well as some entertaining, like challenges and things. Vlogs probably wouldn't come under that as much. That's more like to keep your current subscribers happy and have an insight into your own life. But that's why I would diversify as much as you can. So do that, and then basically plan it out and alternate them. Just throw different ones in the mix, especially if you want to gain traction starting out. Give back as much as you can. Whatever your field is, whatever you like doing, just try to help someone else do that or get better at that. If you can keep doing that for years, that's a winning formula. Because in my opinion, if you can get your quality better and improve on your production quality, as well as helping people, literally you can't lose. I mean, I've always had that in my head. If I feel like my videos don't get views sometimes, I think, oh, this sucks. I just keep going. I just keep being persistent and just keep trying to help more people and add as much value as possible, because you can't lose, in my opinion, if you're doing that. So to sum up that entire point one, figure out what your area of specialty is, or whatever you enjoy the most. That's going to be your niche. Now branch out on a macro level in terms of the things you can, like the types of content you can make, like the informative stuff and what comes under that, the entertaining stuff, what comes under that. And then at a very micro level, plan out your videos as much as you can. Now tip number 2 is to get good camera equipment. Now you don't need the best. Like that's why when people say, what camera do you use? I'm reluctant to tell them, because in fact, they don't need a giant camera to get started with. They don't need a videographer and a gimbal and all these things. But that said, quality is still very, very important. So this bad boy shoots 4K, that's great. It's pretty much as good as you guys want. And also the audio is very, very important. And that's why I love this camera, because the audio is sick. And also light is very important as well. So if I was usually doing this, I would probably face the light, but I feel like that's a cool backdrop, so I wanted to give it a go for today. But I have a light as well. So I mean, I'll get this on if you guys want to see this. That's my current light that I'm using, and I'll just have that like pointed at me. If you have bad lighting in your shot, it's gonna basically downgrade the quality, which I never knew this. So I bought, my second camera I bought was it was expensive. But I bought that thinking, all right, bang, here we go, quality's leveled up. And I could film in a low lit area and the video would look terrible. And I was like, this camera's shit, and I just didn't know. So light is everything, and light allows you to basically get the most out of your camera. So light's really good, audio is a must, because you're gonna annoy people if you have really bad audio. But no, you don't need to go crazy in terms of like buying everything and making it as super expensive. You can do things very cheap. Get yourself a really good camera like this, face the mirror when you're videoing. Face a window when you're videoing, and delivery's here. Shut up there, 1 second. How's it going, mate? You can just leave him there, that's fine. Awesome, thank you, man. All right, Bear, calm your What was I saying? So audio is very, very important. Lighting is important. Face a nice big window if you want, and that'll give you that nice natural light. Now, in terms of the camera equipment, that's basically it. And just use your camera equipment as best as you can too. So like, for example, use your slow-mo if you've got it. Like this has slow-mo. You can't just slow normal footage at 25 frames per second down, because it's gonna look all like jittery. So it has to be high like this. So use your slow-mo for B-roll, experiment with things, really try and level up as much as you can. Like at this point, I'm doing all of my filming and editing by myself, because for one, I like to know that I can do it. Two, it's fun. And 3, it brings out my own kind of take on things. I've worked with awesome, talented videographers in the past, and it's good because I can learn from them as well. But I would recommend you guys to try and do this by yourself. Like, try and learn at least. Even if you plan on outsourcing it later, try and learn the basics by yourself and get comfortable with software. So we'll talk about software a little bit later. But the next tip that I want to talk about is, what is it? Bear, can you shut up? Stop. Hey, no, sit. But the next tip I wanted to talk about is getting comfortable on camera. Now, this was probably my hardest one, and I think it's one of the most important ones because I think everybody struggles with this. People when they watch YouTube channels probably think, oh yeah, he's always been good on camera, and I literally was not at all.
What's up, guys? So, on Instagram, to start posting on social media. But with that being said, let's get into it.
I had to really push and force it. So if you feel like you're just one of those awkward people on camera, you're not gonna be, because if you keep practicing at it, you'll get more natural. And a few tips that I can give you guys for this is, for one, before you make a video, don't freak yourself out and stress about it. Before you start, I still do this all the time, I'll do this practice. Before I'm gonna go into a video, take a few deep breaths, think about what I wanna get out of it, visualize what I wanna say, what points I wanna get across, how I kind of want it to go, and then that's in my head. And I'm calm, relaxed, going into it, I'll get excited and I'll smash it. Oh, no, I think I'll probably just come here and ramble, but at least I'm comfortable. And another tip that I use too is look in the lens or in the screen or whatever you're doing. Try not to look at yourself too much in the screen. Just use the screen as like an indication of where you are in the frame. And then otherwise, I like to look directly into the lens. A couple of reasons why I do this. For one, it makes me focus on what I'm actually doing, what I'm actually talking about. I don't focus on what I look like or what I sound like. I focus on the point that I want to get across. I'll say that again, because it's a big one. Don't think about anything else except the point you're trying to get across. If you're talking to somebody like a really close friend, you don't like talk to them and think, oh, what do I look like right now? Oh my God, is he noticing my hair? You just, you just talk to them about something, especially if you're explaining something you're passionate about. You don't care, you're just gonna talk about it. So use the lens to kind of as a cue to remind you of that. What do you want to say? You know this, talk. That's basically what it is. Be comfortable and even be happy, like get excited for it. That's a big one for me. If I'm like a bit down on a day, I won't film. I'll maybe do it tomorrow or something, because I feel like when I'm in a good mood, I will just be better on camera, and it's when I'm happier. If I'm stressed, you can tell, and I can tell especially I don't like it. So overall, guys, I would say just don't think about, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. A lot of people literally, they'll talk and then they'll get on camera and they'll freeze and they'll think, I don't know this anymore. Just like, you just can't doubt yourself. Don't let those feelings of doubt creep in. You are confident, especially if it's just you and the camera. Just pretend like nobody's even gonna see it. Pretend like you're talking to a best friend. Just get comfortable with yourself. I mean, you guys have nothing to worry about. Just get in there, be confident, smash it, visualize how you want it to end up like, and don't overthink it. Now, my next tip is about dealing with negativity. Now, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, if you're putting yourself out there, you're going to get negativity, you're gonna get hate. Literally, because there's those type of people in the world. There's negativity in the world. Some people don't even realize that they're doing that or projecting that. They might just be thinking it's something completely different. Maybe everyone has their own issues, or whatever it is in life. You can't expect to control the way that people feel or see you or whatever it is. I think when you're starting this, guys, if you want the good things that come with like a YouTube channel, being able to help and reach millions and whatever it is, you have to understand that there's going to be people that don't like you. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is, and you have to accept that. So for me, it took a little bit of time, but there's like complete acceptance now that no matter what I do, there's people that are going to talk shit about me. There's people that will not like me for my curly hair. There's going to be people that are just going to, they're going to have bad days. They're going to hate on people no matter what. So you can't let that affect you. And I definitely, you have good and bad days where some things do, but I'm constantly reminding myself not to let a random person's opinion affect how I feel about myself and my own goals in life and how I can impact other people. So that's a big thing. And one way that I do this is basically I just think to myself, like, if someone I care about has an opinion on me and actually wants to pull me up on something, then I'll listen and I'll actually take it on board. But because they know me personally. If somebody that I don't know, don't respect, some 8-year-old kid online, if they're trying to give me their opinion on me and it's negative, I won't even take it on board, because simple fact, they don't know me. They don't know who I am. So why the hell would I listen? And they're probably having a bad day. They just got yelled at by their mom and they're thinking this guy's an asshole, he's got curly hair. That's basically the way that I see it. A lot of people when they start, they'll read way too much into it. They'll care about every little opinion. And that's a big thing, guys, is you just can't value people's opinions too much. Even when I get praise on my videos or anything on social media, I try not to let it get to my head too much, because if you value that praise, you're just as likely going to value the other side, which is the negativity. And you can't do that. You can't just have one and not the other. You got to find a middle ground where you're somewhat neutral. So overall, just don't concern yourself with the opinions of other people, and also don't let that be a fear that's going to stop you from doing what you want to do. That's the biggest reason why maybe some of you right now haven't done a YouTube channel already. Maybe you haven't started, you haven't been consistent, is because you are worried about what other people are going to think. And you're thinking, oh, what about my friends? What are they going to think? And here's the thing, guys, is that you can't just go through your life thinking like, I wonder if everyone's going to like me if I do this. Like, you just can't do it. You have to do what you want to do what you think is right, and just go for it. Just keep going. Even when your videos don't get views, because that happens, just keep going, and be consistent, and maybe think why. Maybe, okay, why could I do this better? Could I improve my skills here? Otherwise, just be persistent. That's like the biggest thing I could possibly give you guys right now. If you only take one thing from this video, it is be consistent and keep trying to level up and don't stop. I think I set a goal of uploading a YouTube video once a week when I started, and I don't think I've broken that. And even when I've been on holidays, I've tried to coordinate it. Maybe there's been a 2-week gap, but that's it. Like, pretty much since I started, I've been trying to go one every single week. And even now, that's what I've been sticking to, basically. And my final tip, guys, is just a few recommended softwares. So I'm gonna say, for me, I use Final Cut Pro. I started with iMovie, I think it was, but Final Cut, basically, I feel like you can do everything on it, especially if you're a Mac user. It's just so easy, very user-friendly, and it's good for beginners, but you can also get as good as you want at it. So all of my stuff now, I feel like I could really level up if I wanted to go to like the Adobe Premiere side of things and use After Effects and everything. But for now, Final Cut basically lets me do everything I want to do, and it's super easy. Another one I like to use is Adobe Lightroom. Now, these are just for photos. You don't use anything for videos here, but it just helps if you know how to use it. I will edit my thumbnails on Adobe Lightroom, and then I will use Photoshop to make the thumbnails. Now, if you guys want, you can outsource photos, like in terms of your thumbnails, you can outsource that. But there's just another additional charge you're gonna have to pay. I always prefer to know how to do things myself. So open up Photoshop, make a thumbnail. If you don't know how to do it, there's tons of YouTube tutorials on how to do that. I'm not gonna make one now, but those three are basically my favorite ones. If I could sum up this video in a few take-home points, it would be: 1, don't care what other people think. 2, try and get better at your craft and enjoy it as much as you can. I mean, this whole thing is fun. If that's the reason why you're doing it, it's fun. I love it. And lastly, be persistent. This stuff, it might not come easy. You're gonna have big breaks. You're gonna have periods where you feel like, oh, is this even working? Is this for me? But just be consistent, guys, because the way that I see it, even like on a bigger scale now, I feel like now some of my videos, like literally just fly under the radar. Nothing happens. And then there's one person that could think that means I should stop. But then if there's me, if I think, oh, okay, well, if it takes you 50 videos, right, to get 1 million subscribers, let's just say, and then you stop at 30 because you're getting 100 views a video, so you stop at 30. In hindsight, you'd be like, why didn't you just keep going? You just could have waited to hit that 50th and you would have made it. That's how I see it in my head now. So even when I feel like I'm not performing up to what I want to be or where I want to be, I just think, okay, it's around the corner. You don't know when it's going to be. There's always big breaks. Just keep going, keep putting out content, keep adding value to people. Don't just make videos because you think you're awesome, because people won't really connect with that. The best way to do it is to make videos that you think people will benefit from in some way. Even if that's just having a laugh or learning something or whatever it is, that's the easiest way to do it. And I guarantee it's the most fulfilling, because you just feel like you're actually doing something. Now, one last plug, guys, to the Lumix G100. This is pretty much your go-to. If you're starting, you want to do vlogs, it's perfect for basically everything you guys need. I wouldn't be saying it otherwise. If I started, I definitely would have bought this immediately. It's the same price, if not a bit cheaper than what I paid for, and mine may as well have been a potato. But guys, that is it from me. I really did hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, the link to that camera is in the description below. And you guys definitely know what to do. Stay massive. Slide into your DMs in the PM and the AM. Then I slide into your feelings when you see just what I'm saying.